museum people were as good as their word. Thomas went at once into the workshop where his buffer beam was soon straightened and a new buffer bolted on. In the workshop was a green engine like Flying Scotsman, but smaller. He was called Green Arrow. My brothers and I were built to run fast goods trains, he said, but we did it so well that they let us pull expresses too in the end. Now I'm the only one of my sort left. Green Arrow was so friendly that when Thomas was mended, he was sorry to leave him. But back at the great railway show, he was thrilled to see instead one of Stepney's brothers, Box Hill, an engine he remembered from the old days. Thomas was moved to a special position. "There's no doubt about it," said his driver. "You're a star attraction." "Is that being a credit to the Fat Controller?" asked Thomas. He was anxious to make up for the parking ticket. One morning, Thomas's driver arrived in great excitement. "We're to give rides on the demonstration line," he said. Thomas was delighted. The 3 demonstration lines were different sizes. One was narrower than Thomas's, and the third was used by a very wide engine called Iron Duke. "This is broad gauge," he explained. "The Great Western Railway used it until about 100 years ago." Thomas wondered if Duck knew about broad gauge. It would be nice to tell him something about the Great Western, he thought. The engines had to take great care because of the many visitors. Thomas was anxious. Some people were not as careful as they should have been. Thomas had never seen such crowds. "We must watch out," he told his driver. "What would happen if a child got onto the line?" "Don't you worry, Thomas," replied the driver. "There are plenty of good, strong barriers, and we'll take care." But Thomas did worry. He was afraid that in an emergency, he might not be able to stop soon enough. Next morning, Thomas felt better. The sun was shining, and he was looking forward to talking to Iron Duke again. He chuntered happily backwards and forwards along the demonstration line all day. Then, nearly at closing time, it happened. Thomas saw something fly through the air and land on the rails in front of him. His driver saw it too. He put the brakes hard on. "Beep, beep, beep, beep," whistled Thomas in alarm. "I must stop, I must." Thomas shuddered to a halt, and a great cloud of steam wheezed noisily from his cylinder cocks. But he couldn't stop before he hit the bundle. It burst. Sandwiches and crisps flew in all directions, while pop from a broken bottle fizzed over Thomas's wheels. In the crowd, a child, frightened by the steam, cried loudly, "I want to go home, Mummy, now!" screamed the child. "You noisy great engine!" shouted his mother, waving her fist at Thomas. "I'm going to see the manager." "Oh dear," thought Thomas. "That's not the way to be a credit to the Fat Controller." "You did very well," comforted his driver. "Thank goodness it was only a lunch pack and not a child on the line." The fireman was inspecting Thomas. "Hey, look at this," he shouted. The driver went to see. "You damaged your brakes when you stopped suddenly," he told Thomas. "No more work until they're fixed, I'm afraid." "Never mind. If the people here today have learned that engines can't stop at once, that's a good thing." Thomas hoped they had.